Die! Why are we doing this? Why are we back to shit?
Because you have a gun.
What?
And
no!
And didn't give me a choice.
This isn't Persona 3, that's the one with guns. This is Persona 5, the animation! So yeah, hi, we're here with Persona 5, the animation. Considered one of the worst anime adaptations in recent years.
It exists for some reason. Okay, that's it, bye.
Fine. Gotta do it the right way.
Can we pretend to?
For all 5 of you that don't even know what a Persona is, it's a JRPG series from Atlas, aka the company that's on the path to becoming Japanese EA. I'm sure they're gonna get there eventually. Yeah. Persona 5 came out in 2016 in Weebanese land before coming here just a year later. The anime would air in April 2018, wrapping up in September, and finishing with the bad ending. Remember that, Good times.
Yeah. Yes, finishing with like one of the 3 bad endings.
Yeah, then it got an hour-long special in December 2018 that went a little farther, then another hour-long special in March 2019. It was really stupid. And the anime was also done by A1 Pictures. So is this as shit as what happened with 7 Deadly Sins? Well, they rushed the hell out of that. Do you think they rushed this? What do you think?
Yes.
You know what's stupid is this isn't even the first time they adapted this into an anime. Before the game even came out, they did Persona 5, The Daybreakers, for some sort of OVA to promote the game.
Yeah, sounds shit.
Okay, so I guess the long and short of it is, basically, the plot, you're a transfer student that forms a group known as the Phantom Thieves that has to rebel against society. Going in any more than that would be, I guess, considered heavy spoilers to some people, this being a JPEG and all.
For all 5 of you who haven't played Persona 5 in the past 3 years.
Yeah, does bring up the point, when we get to the dub cast, there might even be spoilers with that, since I know some people consider who you get as party members or who villains are might be considered spoilers, so there's fair warning so no one can bitch on that one.
I need you to say spoilers right away, then we can just get into it.
Well, we got the story breakdown, so first, what do you think of the animation?
It existed sometimes, and then cheaped out at other times. But it's nothing to write home about, especially when they try to rip off exact scenes from the game, only poorly.
I saw people say they were done worse than the game.
I said poorly, exactly.
No, I mean like where they ripped a straight up animated scene from the game, which was done by Production IG in the game, and A1 just made it much worse.
I mean, they somehow made a majority of the awakening scenes underwhelming in the anime. You know, scenes that are supposed to be hype as fuck in the game.
Yeah, whenever a character gets their persona, it's just brushed aside. Like, oh, they have it now. 10 seconds. Cool.
Sometimes they'll quote the exact same thing word for word, except rush the dialogue out there, so it doesn't even have the same oomph behind it. It's just, it's almost like it was forced to be speed read, and it has nothing to do with the fucking performance of the voice actor or anything. Nope. I mean, especially since they had to record that fucking line twice with P5, those lines twice with P5R, am I right?
Oh, and we're gonna get to the biggest problem with this anime, with P5R now being an existing IP. But hey, at least we know one good thing about this anime, its soundtrack.
It actually uses OST from the games.
Well,
Except uses them at weird times.
but hey, they got Shoji Meguro in to compose even new music for this anime, which that's the one thing I'd say. Just look up the new openings and endings for the anime. Don't even bother watching the anime for them.
And the interlude boss themes, because I guess using Blooming Villain, I guess Blooming Villain is a shit song, doesn't deserve to be used more than
Yeah, I think they only used it twice.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times or something like that.
I know they also used a weird rendition of it too at one point.
Yeah, during the during the bank dungeon. Remember, it was a, I guess, remix version of it. It sounded like something out of Persona 5 Dancing. Oh god, that spin-off.
It doesn't help there's always technically 2 versions of it.
Yeah. But alright, I guess it's time to get some dubs so we don't drag this out any longer, because we know how long the 7 Deadly Sins one went. So, it was just actually July. Aniplex, everyone's favorite company that can go fuck themselves because this set is not worth $300, I don't care who the hell says it is, announced that it would be getting a dub, and the dub aired last month. Who the fuck would pay $300 for this? Please tell me.
You just watch a Let's Play of the game if JRPGs aren't your thing.
No, serious. That's only on Right Stuff too. In retail, it says it's $400. That's as much. That's more than the fucking consoles. That is entering PS5 territory.
Man, how dated is this gonna be?
Oh, pretty badly, I'm sure. But I mean, we just said the dub came out last month, so. Alright, Pro Tycoon, now that he's official name, Ren, or the character they gave no personality to in this anime adaptation. How?
Even though even though out of the Persona Pro tags, he actually has a personality with his dialogue choices in game. So making him this bland is just baffling. I mean, how do you make someone more generic than you?
Well, Ren is voiced by Xander Mobus. That name is still... You told me he's from Texas. It's like, damn.
No, he's not for. I said Texas, not New Zealand. You're thinking of a meme. Stop it. No plan, Xander.
Can we go watch Power Rangers instead?
No.
Wonder how many people are gonna get that reference. Anyway, yeah, Xander does a good job as him. The problem is he's not given much to work with. Ren doesn't say much, and when he does, it's just basic bitch shit. Like, yes, I agree with that, or, no, you gotta do the right thing. Typical boring things like that.
Or literal word-for-word quotes from the game.
There are moments where he'll shine through with the sarcastic personality that he's known for in the game, but it happens hardly ever. Actually, speaking of Xander, he's been everywhere lately too, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Wasn't he a bunch of ad voices in this anime too?
Yeah, yes, just him.
We're gonna get to the others. But either way, having your pro tag also be ad voices is kind of dumb. And this dub does that really badly.
What's dumb is have him talk to someone, or have him sitting in front of someone, but have 2 ad voices in the background of the 2 characters voiced by the... Yeah.
Well, next we have Morgana, the mascot of the game.
Burn it in fire.
Oh, leave Morgana alone. Besides, they're voiced by Cassandra Lee Morris. We've covered them here before. They were in the Danganronpa games as Asahina. We keep coming back to Danganronpa, don't we?
Yeah.
There were also Taiga and Toradora, and everyone loves Toradora.
Yes, I'm sure they do.
Again, she does fine for what she's given here. The issue is, she is the one that is used more often than anyone as ad voices. It gets really stupid really fast. I mean...
No, it doesn't. It's highly intelligent.
She even plays one of the students in Ren's class. That's also recurring.
Very minor recurring, but still.
And then a bunch of civs on the street. She plays the right-hand man to a mafioso. Right-hand woman, whatever you want to call it. I'll encourage this shitty anime. But it's one of those things where within the first 13 episodes, you'll hear her at least like 40 times. Speaking of hearing someone 80 times, next is On. Voiced by Erica Harlocker, who again we recently covered in Seven Deadly Sins, and also Danganronpa.
You need to stop doing that.
I can't help it, but it's okay, because there was a scene where 3 of her talked back to back. Look, that's going to be the running theme here. This show is one of the worst I've seen the California dub studio do this with in a very, very long time. Because it's not even like there's much reason for it. This isn't a simuldub.
I mean, hell, they got all the main party members back in, and they only used a handful of them as ad voices.
Yeah, actually, it's mainly these 3. Wasn't there scenes like these 3 would talk back to back as ad voices in the background, and it made it stupid?
It got less stupid in the second half, and they stopped using them. Mostly.
Speaking of ones they could have used more, next is Yusuke, or Fangirl Bait. Voiced by Matt Mercer.
Are you purposely skipping over Ryuji?
I'm getting to him after Yusuke. I had to do it this way to be a dick. People know he's coming.
Yes, because Matt Mercer's used as an ad voice twice.
He's got decent vocal range too, it would have worked.
It's like, guys, you got Matt Mercer in, you clearly are struggling for ad voices, use Matt Mercer more.
Yeah, and again, these VAs are doing the best with what they're given, but the fact that they're just quoting lines from the game for like the 5th time at this point.
Except a rushed version.
Yeah.
In some cases.
Alright, Die, we'll do the other Fangirl Bait, Ryuji, voiced by Max Middleman. Or Saitama. Again, we just got done talking about him with Seven Deadly Sins as the Beta Man King.
You think he's beta?
No,
that's not nice, even if it is true.
King is a fucking beta. But hey, at least Ryuji's cool. Even though, again, in this anime, honestly, he's one of the few characters that is given a decent amount to work with, because he gets an episode dedicated to himself for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason. You know, instead of just continuing on with the plot, it's like, hey, let's focus entirely on his social link. Why? I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, doesn't Yusuke get a whole episode too?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, after that, we get Makoto, Voiced by, oh my god, why are you in everything this year? I mean Jeremy Lee, yes. Who I'm pretty sure we've covered a billion times at this point, but...
You've never covered a bunch, what are you talking about?
Either way, Lucy from Fairy Tale, need us say more. Hey, it's someone else who got an episode dedicated to them. Or her, yes.
Like half an episode. It was just mixed in with their powers. Which they rushed through.
Yeah, we're not fans of this anime at all. But, again, she's not given as much to work with either, with how rushed everything feels. Actually, she wasn't used as ad voices that often either, was she?
Literally once.
Yeah, it seems to be the first, like, 4 core party members, because Max Middleman, whose best friend Kun, was used quite a bit in the beginning also.
Even talking after himself, like the others.
There was literally a scene where Ryuji talked to a Xander ad voice, and I thought he was talking to Ren.
No, that wasn't Ryuji.
Oh, was that... I know it was someone.
It was Mishima.
Oh, speaking of Mishima. Might as well talk about him now instead of doing the rest of the party members, because this anime tries treating him like a party member. No, seriously, he gets way more screen time than he should in this series.
Yeah. Imagine giving an NPC that much screen time.
Well, he's voiced by Sean Chiplock. Hey, someone else from Danganronpa.
Yeah.
Or Subaru from ReZero, which you could go watch Season 2 of that instead of watching this Persona 5 anime.
Or Misha from JoJo.
Yeah, or Rista from JoJo Golden Wind.
Also the bullets. Anyways, hi.
Dude, Mishima even got his own dedicated sections in episodes where they went through his link.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Actually, was Sean used as ad voices? I don't think he was either.
No, I don't think so.
Well, time to move on to someone who could have been used as ad voices, since they have really good vocal range. Now we're on Futaba, voiced by Erika Lindbeck, who was the character cucked out of Seven Deadly Sins Season 3. Right, Jericho fanbase? Because that series hates you.
Oh, hi, Danganronpa. What are you doing here? Seriously, I told you to stop.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Jeremy Lee's in that too. So is Matt Mercer.
No, seriously, man, you need to stop. Stop trying to tie this to Danganronpa.
Well, Futaba's a character that got some stuff, I guess. Yeah, this anime has the habit of prioritizing some party members getting their own episodes and others don't. It kind of makes it a pain in the ass to think, huh, okay, so what you're saying is this party member is worth giving an episode to, but this other one isn't. Cool. But Mishima's totally worth giving an episode to, because he's definitely a party member.
Yeah.
No, with how much vocal range Erika Lindbeck has, the fact that she wasn't used as my ad voices more... Actually, I don't think she was ever used as an ad voice.
Nope. Not at least that I've heard. Unless it was a very ad voice, like a crowd scene.
Like a walla.
Like a walla.
Like a wallaby.
Look how much we hear these people all the time. It's easy to point them out in a crowd.
Yeah. That's why it's at the point now a lot of times we don't really need a cast list right away anymore. But hey, speaking of characters that got completely fucked in the anime, being as how they show up in the last, what, 6 episodes?
Hmm?
Haru.
Yeah.
Look, if Haru was already rushed in the game, which I already felt like they were underdeveloped in the game itself, being as how, what, are they there for like the last 2 or 3 dungeons?
Not only that, their official introduction scene was omitted too.
Yeah. Haru voiced by Xanthi Huyn. I'm never gonna get that name right again after this.
It's okay. You'll have time to practice for next time.
Well, she was in Testament of Sister New Devil Season 1 at least. And Love Live.
And a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, and Anohana, the flower we saw that day. An A1 Pictures anime that I heard is much better than this POS. Well, she's fine as Haru. The problem is, again, this character is barely in the anime because of how late they show up. So for those that waifu'd Haru, kinda sucks to be you. She doesn't even get any amount of her social link focused on. What is it, like link 1, if that even?
No, I don't even think they get that. Yes, and we're doing a drinking game, saying if we can count which link it was that they were adapting, and sadly we'd be right every time. Because they literally adapted.
We have the last party member, and this is the one that was like, oh, spoilers, because we're gonna have to bring up how the show dropped the shit on this one.
What?
Akechi. Voiced by Robbie Damon. Hey, Seven Deadly Sins is back.
Oh no.
Or Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon? Robbie Damon, though. See, the thing with Akechi that makes him work in the game, that lets Robbie Damon really stand out, is Akechi is kind of a prick who backstabs you. I mean, it's one of those things where most people probably see it coming, but either way, he goes completely apeshit, psychotic, and insane. You barely get any of that in this anime adaptation because of how rushed everything is.
You get like 2 minutes of it. Of the most worthwhile payoff to his character with how he acts in those scenes in the game. You get barely any of it. It's really disappointing.
What's strange too is the anime tries playing up this rivalry between Ren and Akechi, like they're Light and L or some shit, with how their scenes thrown throughout the series where they're playing shogi against each other or chess.
It's chess.
Then why the fuck was Akechi saying, "You any good at shogi? You'll learn how to play it. You'll catch on."
Because chess, shogi, same thing is what they were going for.
That's not... Whatever.
No, literally, that is what they were going for.
But that's not the same thing!
And your mic is staticking it up right now.
It's because this anime sucks.
It is the same thing. Also, this anime has a hard-on for giving Akechi screen time that he never had before.
Okay. Well, so Robbie Damon got shafted, even though it seemed like they shouldn't have.
With how much they were trying to stroke off Akechi, with all the screen time they were giving him.
Well, what about everyone else's waifu?
Okay.
Sainijima. Voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell. Hey, she's been here before. She was from DAZ-Ray. Another adaptation that was rushed to shit.
Oh, so you're going with the theme.
Well, Spy Nijima, yeah, another character that got the terrible anime treatment. Or are you gonna tell me she wasn't rushed to hell and back?
No, she wasn't. They didn't rush her in a way that made her come across as psychotic.
Yes, they did, and you fucking know it. Okay, okay, so she got fucked with. Alright, whatever. Let's,
Okay, seriously.
yeah, I told you all this is unscripted shreds when we talk about this shit. Hold on. I'm gonna reboot this whole damn thing.
Yeah. And this is what happens when you use a Sony headset, guys. Don't be like him. Don't use the Sony headset. Use a real headset.
Hey, phone was caught on a stream before. Anyway, as I was saying, what about Sojiro, or Coffee Dad as people call him?
Like, literally everyone calls him Coffee Dad.
Or Papa Taker.
No, that's just you. No one cares about Blaze Blue.
But he's Jameson Price, bringing it back to Seven Deadly Sins. Or Levius, which is a better show than this. What? Speaking of Sojiro, did you notice they tried forcing his social link in and combining it with some of Futaba's links?
Yes, but also Akechi was a part of it because he's a detective, you know, and they can only fix these link problems with Akechi's brilliant detective work because he's Akechi.
That is the one thing I'll say this anime did, is when Futaba and Sojiro, because they're related, were having problems in their link, it made Futaba fuck up during the palace segments.
Yeah, yes, but they only did it during that one palace.
I know, it's something that could have been explored more, and I think the game should do that a little bit more too. Because it's like, oh, Futaba's horribly depressed right now. You go into the palace and she's A-okay. It doesn't make any narrative sense if you think about it. I know the links are separate, but still.
And they did it with Makoto too during that same palace. It's like, guys, you just now came up with this idea that could actually been interesting and done something, but you did nothing. Okay, sounds about right. Wasted potential, I guess.
Well, after the Coffee Dad, the only other link really worth bringing up, there's two more. First is Kawakami, or the teacher. Still voiced by Michelle Ruff. Yeah, as it wasn't obvious, these are all reprisals from the game for the most part.
Oh, you're saving that one for last because you're gonna complain about something?
I'm not gonna complain, just bring it up. But hey, Michelle Ruff got thing, I guess. Until they forced it into a Ryuji link.
Yes.
Yeah, Kawakami's social link was relocated to expositing about Ryuji's backstory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why?
Because... And that's
it
why.
still had the greatest scene with Ren in the anime, because it was the only time Ren's personality came through.
Actually, I'm a dad.
That quote was legendary. Since Kawakami's a maid and Ren is a student, yeah, he basically pretended to be someone else when he called her for the surface. She's like, wow, you're really young, how old are you? And he just goes, well, actually, I'm a dad. it's one of the few moments that'll make you laugh your ass off in the anime, but even then it's not worth it. Just play the game for it instead. Because that exact line is still there.
They probably just took the most used line. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone picks it.
Yeah, I picked it on my playthrough too, because it was so hilarious. Who wouldn't pick it? But after that, we have the one character whose social link actually progressed somewhat naturally throughout the anime. We have Tai, or Spider Doctor as people call her.
Yeah.
Why do they call her that again? What, is it because of her design?
Yeah, pretty much.
Look, I don't even remember who voiced her in the OG Persona 5, but in Persona 5 Royal, she's voiced by Abby Trott, or Abby Trott, depending on your pronunciation. I've heard it pronounced both ways. So, who the hell knows? Or Nezuko from Demon Slayer. That'll probably be the one everyone knows right away.
Or if you watch a real show like a Agretsuko, she's Inoue.
What is an Agretsuko?
A show you could have watched instead of this, but didn't.
Yeah, but that's because I hate you.
What are you talking about? I got season 3 to watch this pile of shit down with.
Yeah, but you still had to watch this pile of shit. But either way, I guess she's given a decent amount to work with, because the way the show presents it is first they meet and do Link 1, and then a couple of episodes later, she meets him again, and it's like they're doing Link 2, and it slowly progresses and does elements like that.
And it's just
oh yeah, of course it's only parts.
Link.
Yeah, it's portions.
It's only parts, but it's more than anyone else gets.
Yeah, and it feels like it progresses naturally, instead of, hey, let's cram all 10 of Ryuji's links in this one episode.
Not even 10. Didn't they just pretty much start from Link 3?
Yeah, they started from 3, then jumped to like 8, but still. But alright, it's time to get to the antags. First,
one
we
of
gotta
these is going to be
with,
shocking for a lot of people.
We gotta start with everyone's favorite pile of shit himself, Kamoshida. Voiced by DC Douglas, yes. And I gotta stop doing that whenever I bring him up.
Yeah.
But hey, it's Backstreet Girls!
Again.
Hey, I'm gonna reference that show as much as possible, damn it. Or Wesker.
But you could have brought this show up when you were talking about Erica, like 10 people back.
I could have done it with Jeremy Lee too, but it's okay.
That too.
But Kamoshida, man, what did you think of them actually giving him more scenes to show you abusing someone instead of just leaving it to your imagination? Because some people would argue that actually makes it narratively worse written.
How is this school still open?
I was actually wondering that the whole time. That might be an issue with P5 itself, though, with how they're overlooking this.
Oh, they jumped off. They jumped off the roof. No big deal. Let's leave the roof open.
Yeah. So he forces On's best friend Shiho, who's ill voiced by Christine Marie Cabanos, another Backstreet Girls reference. And oh my god, why does she keep appearing in these Dubster dives?
I don't know, people might start thinking of an obsession.
It's only coincidence, too. That's the stupid part. Yeah, she jumped off a 4-story roof and survives with just a broken leg? Okay, that's not on this dub's fault, that's on this anime and game being stupid fault. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I feel so bad for her. I couldn't stop thinking, how the fuck are you alive after diving off 4 stories? What?
Yes.
She even had a conversation with An after hitting the ground before passing out into a temporary coma. How was she not knocked the fuck out?
Magic.
Whatever, so you see Kamoshida actually abuse her somewhat in this anime version. I don't know why they felt the need to animate that instead of, I don't know, focusing on other scenes that were probably more important to show.
No, we needed to see Kamoshida
look even more like a piece of shit. Yeah, we already know he's a dick, anime, we get it.
And lick his lips while he's doing it. What? That's exactly what the anime did. And everyone watched the watch and deserved it.
But next is Madarame! Voiced by the one person we thought would be a million ad voices. It's Kylie Bear.
But not only wasn't he a bunch of not a bunch of ad voices, the only other character he probably should have voiced was replaced.
By a Todd.
Yes, by a turkey, exactly.
Yeah, so they replaced one of his roles and said, yeah, but you could still be Madarame, aka one of the most generic antags. We need to do a whole discussion one of these times on why Persona 5 has a lot of problems that people don't notice or overlook.
Yeah.
Anyway, Madarame and Kamoshida's palace, it should be no surprise, are cut down to around 3 episodes apiece, so of course they're rushed as shit, and there's no impact whenever they decide to do a face turn after their hearts are stolen. For those that stuck around past spoilers, they're gonna be really fucking confused at that, but otherwise we could really do with that one.
Oh please, if people are in spoilers now, they probably should have seen the game. I played through the game at least. They should know how this shit works. Because if we were to delve into the intricacies of the fucking game plot, we're gonna be here for like another 3 hours.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in that.
Next is Kaneshiro, the third antag. Voiced by... what he went under for this? Janelin K. Castle? I don't know if that's what he always goes under on a cast list. Is it? Or Okuyasu from JoJo?
Yeah.
And
he was also replaced by Todd.
Oh, you mean his other roles? In this anime?
He was supposed to be supposed to be interviewer guy for Akechi.
Gotta love how this anime keeps calling Akechi the second Detective Prince, you know, referencing Persona 4. So if you don't know what the hell you might not know what the hell they're talking about.
References.
But anyways, yeah, they gave his shadow some weird rap gimmick during the boss fight in this dub.
I don't think it was just the dub.
Oh, I'm sure it was the sub too, because the boss theme was Blooming Villain, but it was like a weird remix hip-hop version of it.
Yeah, and the way they did something.
It was just silly, and the thing is that this guy is supposed to be a mobster that sees people as nothing more than money. So it detracts from the seriousness. Okay, when you see walking ATMs in his palace, I'm sorry, I think it's funny. It's I know I'm supposed to feel awful for it, but it just came across as silly to me. But either way, like, it distracts from the seriousness of it when he starts rapping at the pro tags while they're fighting him. It's hilarious, but if you step back to think about it, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Is he supposed to be some sort of badass mobster you don't screw with?
Yeah.
Whatever, so I guess he did okay too with his 2 episodes of screen time.
Yeah.
Next, we have Futaba's mom, voiced by Aaron Fitzgerald. Hey, Nomi'd be happy.
Yes, the Swan would be happy indeed. Another reprisal. For like the 5 people who realized that's who voiced Futaba's mom.
Again, another character that got limited screen time, I guess. Actually, she was ad voices too, wasn't she?
She could have been used as ad voices more, but...
I think it was only twice.
Yeah.
Well... After her, we have Okumura, or Haru's dad, voiced by Chris Smith, who we've covered here before. He was on Drifting Dragons, a show that was average, probably still better than
You mean
this.
someone else underutilized as ad voices?
He's got really good vocal range, too.
I mean, he's G. That character, the sole character to save SF5.
Now, since we're basically done with the shadow characters, it's time to bring this up before we move on and wrap up the dubcast itself. The filters. Oh my god, the filters were fucking awful in this show.
Except for the times they weren't.
The only 2 that weren't were Okumura and Sainijima. But the rest of them, well, I think Futaba's mom was alright too, I guess.
Maybe.
But Kamoshida's and Madarame's were like, what the fuck did they do to your filter? I don't know who did the sound engineering, but damn, someone really cranked that shit off.
It's like you can like barely understand them. It was that bad.
It's not even just them either, because the Persona Awakenings, when the Personas were talking to the first few pro tags, they had filters like that on too. And then it's like they realized they fucked up, so they dropped those filters with the back half of the party members. So, yeah, in short, filters are shit. But hey, let's wrap up the main antag, I guess. Pseudo-main antag. Shido, or everyone calls him Howie Mandel, don't they?
Probably.
Voiced by Keith Silverstein, someone we can't escape because he's been here a lot too.
Speaking of someone who was ad voices...
Yeah, he was ad voices a lot too.
He's the one that made you start the counter.
I counted 11 of him in the first 13 episodes alone. 11! I gave up after that point, which I think was ironically the point they stopped using him as much.
Oh, you gave up after you ran out of fingers?
Sure. That's it, because I'm stupid, alright? I can't count past 11. I never learned.
Yeah, you only have 11 fingers after all.
Wait, what?
Wait?
Of course, after that, we got David Lodge in an anime for once again. Hey, Kakaishi's back!
Okay.
Didn't think we'd be referencing that anime so soon. Or Jiraiya, I guess.
Well... yeah... He was Jiraiya.
Still
until he...
But, yeah, as... I'm not even gonna bother saying spoilers at this point, but hey, it's fake Igor.
Igor, indeed.
Fogor.
Actually, they toned his filter down for Igor.
They did.
But then they toned it up for... that.
For his deity form. And it was at the point where, oh my god, this is hurting my ears, please stop. But I guess we got real Igor, voiced by Kurt Thornton. Who, hey, Seven Deadly Sins is back.
Which is just a reprisal from the game. He's also the
Is he the director? Yeah, the director
yes.
for, what the fuck group is that for? They never really gave it a name. Just Shido's group, I think. I think he was just his underling.
I mean, it's just special...
Special investigator unit or whatever.
Or SIU or SUI or something.
Yeah,
like that.
SIU, I think that's it. Yeah. Special Investigator Unit. I think that's actually what it's called. But in the anime, I don't think they ever dropped that name once. They might have. Oh, they gave this fucker so much time, too, the director of SIU. They kept panning over to him the entire anime instead of panning over to Shido, so it made you think, oh, like again, approach this from a mindset of someone who's never played the game. It makes you think this guy's going to be the main villain.
Yeah,
because you see everyone report to him.
I mean, it's clear he's always taking orders from someone over the phone.
Yeah, but still, it keeps panning over to him, and he's plotting and scheming. It makes it seem like, oh, is he going to overthrow the one overseeing him, and he'll become the big bad? Like, it gives that vibe with how much screen time he was getting. Until he dies, unceremoniously, on, like, the 26th episode.
Just like in the game. It's like, oh, they killed off that nothing character. Okay.
Yeah, and Igor's barely here anyways, because I know some people are going to be like, what, it's not the same one from the earlier games? It barely matters, since real Igor's...
that hasn't been a thing since Arena.
Arena and Golden?
Or did it start in Ultimax?
It was Ultimax when he was replaced by Vic, actually, randomly enough.
Kakaishi?
Yep, more Kakaishi. Well, hey, we got a bunch of ad voices.
Or half replaced by I'm pretty sure it's just the new Lions.
Are you talking about an Ultimax? Oh yeah, because when you click on the character select screen in Ultimax, it still plays the old clip. Yeah, of Welcome to the Ballroom, whatever. But, okay, back on topic with this piece of shit though. Of course, ad voices are out of fucking control with Todd. Casey Tang's here as Gun Shop Dad, but you're not going to hear that character for more than one line because he's busy voicing every other civilian under the sun besides him.
If someone has a yes man, he's their yes man. Did I have to put it that way? Yeah.
Dude, I got so confused because first he was Shido's yes man, and then he was the director's yes man, and I was like, wait, is that the same character? And you said, no, it's not. Because I thought it was the same guy. It would have made sense for it to be the same guy. Yeah. They work for the same person. Yeah.
Then he was someone else. I'm pretty sure he was also someone else's yes man. Just yes men all around.
Hey, speaking of a bunch of ad voices and a character everyone hated in the game, it's Amanda Go Fuck Yourself Win Lee. I mean, I'm not mad because she got a bunch of people mad at Amanda Lee last year pointlessly. Because their names are similar. No, but seriously, this character and her... Wasn't she like 20 people?
Yes.
Like, out of all the people to use a billion times, it's her? You, like, no, let's leave Matt Mercer, Erica Lindbeck, or even Kyle Hebert. They get no one else. Yep. Was Elizabeth Maxwell anyone else?
They were, like, an ad voice once. And the Kaneshiro person they should have voiced if they were going with the reprisal route was given
Cassandra Lee Morris.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this stuff is... Yeah.
It's like all over the place.
Unlike Sins, I can't say this dub is top notch, and it's mainly because of the ad voice recycling. It's really bad. Because I know a lot of people will listen to a dub while working or doing something in the background, so if you're just listening to the dub, you're going to be really confused at times as to who the hell is talking, and that should not be the case. At least not this often in an anime. Anyone remember the early episodes of Naruto from back in the day? You remember Don when Stephanie Sheh talked to Stephanie Sheh? I thought those days were well behind us.
Guess you were wrong.
And the thing is, as I explained earlier, there's no reason for it to be like this. This wasn't a simuldub. They didn't need to rush this dub at all, in my opinion. They could have taken their time with it. But it's clear they were dubbing... What?
I mean, and also was Aniplex saying, you know, you gotta get this dub out by this time.
Oh, I'm sure they were. In fact, I don't even think it was Aniplex. I think it was Atlas themselves. This anime, with how rushed it is, just reeks of corporate greed. It doesn't even need to exist. Think about it. From the time Persona 5 came out, there was an anime adaptation that came out around the same time as PQ2 and a dancing spin-off, with Persona 5 Royal already being announced and well on the way. Why is this anime here?
And a spin-off?
Yeah, Persona 5 Scramble, which I think is already out in Japan, actually. Oh, and I'm sure if I don't point this out, someone's gonna mention it. Yeah, the scene where Ryuji gets hit on by the two dudes in Shibuya? It's in the Red Light District, isn't it?
Yeah.
They used the royal censored script for the dub of this anime, where they say they want Ryuji to join them in a trooper performance, instead of just straight up hitting on him like an OGP 5. So ironically, they adapted a script from a game that the anime's not even adapting. Which also...
But
what?
But it's 2020, and that would offend people.
I hate woke 2020.
Even though they kept those characters in the first place, so...
What happened to fun? Like, you can't be fun anymore without someone getting pissed. Eat a dick, woke people. Alright, anyways, though... Speaking of scripts, it's as we stated, they literally quote lines word for word from the game, but they have no impact because of how condensed and rushed they are.
It's like you have to. It's like you know this line that was drawn out in the game. Nope, the fall was forced to rush it out within like fucking 7 seconds, like they were speed reading it off the script.
Yeah, and it's not the voice actors' faults either with the scripts they're given or with the shitty filters they have to speak through, because everyone gave a solid performance.
I mean, it's not like they know what filter they have.
Oh, of course. But it's for that reason, I can't say this has a dub as strong as Seven Deadly Sins, because between the rushed scripts that they were force-fed, the shitty filters, and oh my god, the ad voices, they just don't stop.
Are you an ad voice in your own life?
I probably am. We're all ad voices one way or another. I wasn't even able to find the ADR director for this game, but being as how they still pronounce Ryuji's last name Sakamoto, just like in the game, I'm pretty certain it's the same person.
And that wasn't even, and based on what I heard, that's not even the ADR director. That Atlas wanted that in there.
Okay.
They wanted it to be a quirk of the dub to say they wrong like that.
Oh, that does remind me. Speaking of the dub, I don't know if this was a dub thing. I don't care to go check the Weebanese one to find out because this shows a pile of dicks. But yeah, remember Dai? And it was like early F3. Ryuji asks Ren, "Hey, where'd Mona go?" You know, Morgana's nickname, even though they hadn't come up with nicknames for when they're thieves yet. And then literally, like 5 minutes later in that same episode, Morgana's like, "Hey, we should come up with nicknames while we're here. Oh, you can call me Mona."
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we toss you in the dumpster while we're at it too? Don't tell me when to sleep, you fucking cat. Anyways, hi.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a dub fuck up or not. Someone can let us know, I guess, if anyone cares about P5 anime, which, let's be honest, I don't think anyone does. It's like watching a speed run of P5 without any of the coolness factor to it.
We didn't even get Crazy Damon.
No, but we did get shittily animated all-out attacks, right, buddy?
Yes. I mean, they even have them say attack lines from the fucking game.
They even use sound effects from the game, proving someone involved gave a shit.
Someone did, but not enough people did.
Yeah. And by the way, for reference, this anime aired at the same time as the second half of Darling in the Franxx. You know, another anime that was also heavily produced by A1 Pictures, proving their animation style can work, and despite what people want to think about the ending of that series, I'd still watch that 5 times over this.
So what you're saying is she went into space and married a spaceship.
Hey, Zero Two's hot. What?
Exactly, guys. You heard him. Now shame him in the comments.
Okay, fine. Shame me. I'm used to it. And what I'm also used to is watching shitty anime, because that's all we keep doing around here.
Oh, it's your fault. You let you're the one who lets chat bully you.
Whatever. We'll be here all day. Point is, this anime is shit. It's always gonna be shit. Why'd they even dub this in the first place?
Because you'll never see it coming.
I think that was literally the tagline they used when promoting this before they announced the dub for it. Way to go, Aniplex. You were right on that. But you also fucked up, because the Persona 5 OVA, the Daybreakers, which was used to promote the game, you didn't include in your shitty box set. So that OVA is still without a dub to this day. Look, if you're gonna dub all of it, I'm saying go all out and dub literally all of it. And ironically enough, that one OVA we didn't get, I heard was the best part of the anime because it was an original story. So it didn't shit on anything.
Except when it did.
And allegedly I heard it has better animation too, because A1 Pictures brought in their best for that special. Why couldn't those guys come in and do this anime too?
CGI.
Yeah, CGI. Look, I'm of the mindset every anime deserves a dub, but in all seriousness, marketing-wise, dubbing this makes no sense in the year 2020. This anime was hated...
Existing makes no sense.
This anime was hated 2 years ago when it aired, and I'm pretty sure it's still hated now, especially now that Persona 5 Royal is out, making this anime, well, irrelevant.
I'm sure like, the Vuz at least had some fun with those outtakes.
Speaking of which, the $400 box set doesn't say anything about including any outtakes, meaning even if you wanted to get it to hear some stupidity, you can't even do it for that.
Yeah, Todd's dick jokes will be lost to time.
You know what? The Persona 4 anime had issues, but the whole time I was watching the P5 anime, I was thinking it was not as bad as this.
Or was it?
Well, we'll have to cover that eventually. I said eventually because I'm done with Persona for now. Need to find a decent A1 Pictures anime around here somewhere. I'm sure they exist.
If you look hard enough, you'll find one, but not for this show, because you know what chat loves to do to you.
This show literally is a dumpster we just dove through. But hey, let us know what you thought of it. Do you think this anime was actually a worthy adaptation? Because I'm sorry, but if it's not clear, we strongly disagree with that sentiment. But hey...
I mean, hey, they fixed Okumura's filter.
This anime gets a D. Yes, literally the D. It's not the worst adaptation I've seen. There's plenty worse game adaptations out there, but the problem is, it has the issue of if you're not a fan of the source material, you're going to be lost as fuck the majority of the time because of the breakneck pace. And...
Oh, my neck.
What?
What?
I get it. And it does have some redeemable qualities, i.e. the voice actors of the party members are okay, they have fun, and the soundtrack is still the same as the games, which the soundtrack is still really good.
Even if they underutilize a lot of songs.
And
Someone
hey, the
over there
original
still
tracks
mad
for the
about
anime are still really
Villain.
good. I still say it's worth looking up the original tracks at the very least. The second opening in particular was my favorite new song. I even kept saying it's a hype theme that the show doesn't fucking deserve. It feels like it was wasted here. They could have saved it for Scramble or something, I don't know. But anyways, I guess that's it. Any thoughts on P5 before we kill it, Die? You hope they dub Persona 5 the Royal animation, because you know it's coming since Atlas are greedy pricks and just have to?
I hate you and everything you stand for. This is all your fault. I mean, what?
Whatever, this anime should be erased, man.
Yeah, it should.
But hey, if you have a show you'd like us to cover, leave it down below, and we'll get around to it eventually. Now, excuse me, I'm gonna have to go rid my mind of Persona 5 and shittiness. This anime is fucking terrible.
Okay.
I don't think they heard most of that, but it's alright, because I'm dragging you back here if the P5R anime ever becomes a thing and is dubbed. Anyway, guys, till next time. Thanks again for watching.